Hello, our esteemed viewers. It is an exciting day here in the city of Abuja. Hope you're doing great wherever you are. On the program today, we'll be analyzing accountability in leadership. We'll be doing so with the 29th May inauguration in view. Also, we'll be looking at the scorecard of the outgoing government and expectations of the incoming government. My name is Juliet Onwumere. And in the studio today is Right Honorable Matthew Yeri, Speaker, Abuja Municipal Area Council. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much.
Welcome. You're looking great.
Thank you very much.
And
to the glory
speaker,
of God.
I know you have a lot to say.
Oh, for sure.
Because we are going to give the government of President Muhammad Buhari a scorecard, or what the primary school says, a report card.
Report card.
Let's assess him his 8 years.
And see whether he passed
or not.
Or he need to repeat.
Because if he did not pass, he will not go back to Daura. He has
okay, fine.
Will he repeat?
You know, the Constitution does not make provision for repeat after 8 years.
Okay.
So that is just the lacuna we have. Otherwise,
he has to repeat.
let's drive and see where we get.
Okay. All right, sir. You as a speaker, Amak. So what would you say from your end in these 8 years of the present government, in the time of youths of this country? What has he done so far?
All right. Thank you very much, and glad to be here, Juliet. I sincerely appreciate the opportunity to be here. I must be very frank at this point that the youth of this country, Nigeria, my fatherland, are the more disappointed people in this government, because it was a government that promised and gave the young people expectation in every aspect of life. But you see, where are we today? We'll be disappointed by this government, by its administration, by everybody around the government. Looking at every aspect of what makes up a government. Is it education? You know what we went through. Yeah. Is it agriculture? Where are the youths? So for me, as far as I'm concerned, the government disappointed us.
Okay, looking at the aspects, you talked about education now. Yes. Let's look at infrastructural sector, whereby you create jobs. Because I know he pointed out that he's going to create job opportunities for the teeming youths of this country. All right? So now, has he fulfilled his promise in terms of creating jobs in order to curb the rate of unemployment?
The answer straight is zero. You see, every time we wake up to, they're applying for jobs in this place, they're applying in social sector of the economy, people just keep applying, no employment. And where there are employment, you just wake up to discover that they've employed people. Yeah. So it is the business of who do you know. It's not what you have.
But don't you think that was the more reason why he initiated the Empower program?
How successful was the Empower?
Okay.
So many people that benefited from the Empower have relatives in government. Some were even working and benefiting. But those that ordinarily ought to be the real beneficiaries of Empower were not. Okay. If you take statistics, if you take a research, you discover that so many people were not benefiting. Okay. Those that were benefiting have other one job or the other still doing. You can't compare it with the Shopee programs that we have in the past administration under the late Goodluck Jonathan's administration.
Okay. Okay. You're saying that the Shopee program was able to
was more successful.
Okay.
To Nigerians.
How would you score that?
No, as far as we're concerned, you discover that there are so many things today you can lay your fingers on and say, oh, this was as the result of the Shopee intervention programs, compared to the Empower.
All right. Okay, now when you look at this now, because when you say the Shopee program is more reliable and People can testify that this is what I gained from the shopping program of the administration of Goodluck,
Yes.
Jonathan. So, but I want you to just make a better reference to tell us, in this area, there's so many number of youth who have benefited. Maybe they got incentives in agriculture, they got empowerment in their SME, that's small businesses,
yes.
to grow their businesses. So just give me instances.
Now, you see, I'm from the local government,
Okay.
and you know that AMAC is central, and there is no information on opportunities that were not opportune to have. But you discover that in the Shopee program, there were so many infrastructural developments as a result of what was coming from there, which gave the young people opportunity to participate and make living for themselves.
Okay.
But this one that you are giving people money, who are you giving it to? You talk about, what do you call it, school feeding program.
Okay. Yes, I
School
remember
feeding
that.
program.
Yeah.
Schools were on strike, COVID-19 was there, and you were still doing school feeding. Who were you feeding? How can, you know, the COVID-19 and then you are feeding? Who were you feeding? There was nobody in school.
Okay. Yeah, you're talking about the COVID-19, yes. Because I know that there were lots of palliative being released during the COVID-19 season, during the pandemic, global pandemic. So would you say that the federal government under the administration of President Muhammad Buhari did a lot in order to salvage such situations? Let's take over in the health sector now.
You see, when you want to talk about doing a lot, it's subject to the individual. As much as you gave this palliative, there were so many people that did not get anything. So I may not be judging from the right point of view.
Okay.
Over the government. Yes, palliatives were given, efforts were made, especially in the FCT, to be very fair to the Minister of State for FCT. But in the general, what were you seeing all over the country? They were breaking of warehouses, you know, looting of government properties here and there, storehouse were being broken, even the one that belongs to the government and that of the individuals.
Yes.
So to tell you that for this to have happened, it means that the program itself was not successful.
Okay.
If it was successful, all those issues wouldn't have taken place.
Sure. We have BBC headlines popping up about President Buhari's administration, just like we are talking about accountability of his government.
Yes.
So I will read it up. It said, Buhari insists that he has done well, but BBC reports online has this headline. He said, Nigeria's Muhammad Buhari leaves a legacy of kidnapping, inflation, and debt. And the reports conclude saying, the fact is that Nigerians were safer, better off, and less in debt before Buhari took over. And many will remember him for presiding over the toughest 8 years they might ever face. But before your thoughts now, remember that our dear president apologized. In his apology, he said, you know, he's human, and sometimes he made mistakes. Whomever he has wronged in any way, he apologized to Nigerians and Nigeria as a whole. So what are your thoughts about the BBC
Okay, fine. Yeah, let's start from his apology. It's a natural thing for anyone who have served people to come to this point, anyone in position of leadership. Okay. When you come to your exit point, to apologize to the people. Eventually I've hurt you, I've offended you, I'm sorry, I'm human. It's natural. Yeah. And that is that anyway. So he did that from that point of view. You see, I'm grateful and happy that Buhari became the president of Nigeria. Very, very happy. Because if Buhari have not been president of Nigeria, and the time comes for him to be called, that is to depart from this earth, okay, I assure you that Nigerians will go to Buhari's grave and worship him.
Really?
Yes, with the insinuation that this was the best president Nigeria would have ever had. But he was refused the opportunity. because the whole country, the whole people saw him as a god.
Okay.
And they say, go, come and lead us.
Okay.
But what did we get at the end? Is disappointment. As we speak, our economy have gone back. In the Goodluck Jonathan-led administration, Nigeria was the best and the top on the growing economy of Africa. Where are we today? I'm not sure I even know our position.
Okay.
What is our inflation rate today? It's 0. In terms of improvements, everything went back. Nigerians are more disunited today than ever. The young man on the streets have no hope. So we are praying, earnestly praying, as individuals, as the church, as religious leaders, as Muslims, that this remaining 7 days should come and go.
All right. Now, you know, in the aspect of security, I know at a point the president has called himself that he has really done well in the aspect of insecurity in the country. He has done everything possible to curb insecurity in the country. So,
I disagree with that, absolutely. Juliet, I must be very frank with you. I disagree with you.
Okay.
As we speak, last week in Mangu, in Plateau State, what happened? There were killings. In the southern Kaduna, what are we getting every day? What are we seeing every day? Before you wake up, you see that there was kidnapping or killing in so place. It was like a news. It was strange to we Nigerians. But today, it doesn't move you anymore.
Okay.
Because it has become like part and parcel of our lives. Under this led administration of Buhari. So what best have you done? When you keep people that are supposed to ordinarily advise, guide, they are doing nothing. So as far as I'm concerned, in security aspects, this administration has failed. They've not helped us. Because, you see, you came in with some of these challenges when they were starting newly. And you accuse the then administration of lack of capacity to do anything.
Okay.
But what have you done? Have you improved on it? No. Today, you cannot even travel at night. You're not sure. Before now, you could travel and then you arrive, you call the person that, you call your people and say, arrive safely. But now you are traveling. Your people are calling you at intervals to know the progress you have made.
You are.
Because they are not sure. The IPOPs are there. The Boko Haram is still here. The herdsmen are still there. The farmers, herdsmen clashes everywhere. You cannot even farm and be sure that you are going to harvest.
And this has actually caused the high, the price in foodstuffs
For
and
sure.
everything. So should we say that
what do you expect?
The BBC is actually right?
I agreed and I take my position with the BBC.
All right.
I take my position with them.
Okay, we'll be going on a short break, and when we come back, we'll still continue with the scorecard. All right, viewers, this is much we can take for now. We'll be going on a short break. We'll be right back. Stay connected.
On this show, we'll focus on the journey from girlhood to womanhood and everything in between.
You hear such comments like it's not ladylike because there is a way ladies should behave.
Please don't ask a man out. I beg you. We are so cultured that the day you do.
It is in that place of fellowship that you get to discover all these things.
You discover yourself.
Yes.
Biology-wise, women are able to progress faster into addiction than the men.
Don't crucify the woman for wanting financial security.
Remember, every woman is worthy by design.
Welcome back, viewers. If you're just joining us, this is the Youth Arena here on Advent Cable Network Nigeria, ACNNTV. Welcome back. Before we went on the break, we are giving the present administration of President Muhammad Buhari a scorecard of all he has done during these 8 years. And we still have here in the studio Honorable Matthew Yuri, Speaker, Abuja Municipal Area Council. You're welcome back, sir.
Thank you very much.
All right, we are still talking on insecurity before we went on a short break. Let's quickly analyze what we'll be expecting from the incoming government of President-elect. I won't give him the president now. Yes, Bola Ahmed Tinubu. So now, let's see. I think the insecurity is one of the most thing we are suffering at that moment, because this has stopped investors from coming in. This has stopped the citizens from having their daily activities, going around their daily businesses in peace. So let's now analyze and see the expectations we have in mind for the incoming president come May 29th. Yeah. So looking at it though, let's see the incident that happened in Lagos. The NSAS incident. Yeah. How would you, if you're to expect the actions of the president-elect, what would you say?
Yeah, thank you very much. You see, except we pray, I will not be expecting too much. Because the president-elect, beside the fact there are still controversies of whether or not he won the elections, and the 25% requirement from the FCT. These are still legal issues, and sort of don't go into prejudice or contempt of the court. We'll wait for the judiciary to take his position on that. The president-elect was part and parcel of the Buhari-led administration. As a matter of fact, he will tell you himself that he brought Buhari. He made Buhari president. He have said that on some few occasions. So his role in the NSAS, as young people, what should we be expecting different? What role did he play? It was like being against the young people, against the youth, in support of the government, as the case may be. But like I said, we'll keep praying for him, because we have a responsibility as citizens to pray for our leaders.
Do you think that this has to do with prayers?
Yes, to an extent. You see, while we pray, it will not stop us from challenging the government. Positive criticism, directing them, telling them what we expect and what ordinarily they should do. Why I say prayer is because we took it upon ourselves to say this is what we want, and we failed. So it is only God that can save us.
What do you think that the youths of this country should keep their hopes high with the administration of the president-elect in the area of employment and education? Because I know that this is one of the things that is actually a cog in the wheel of the progress of
this country.
This country and the future leaders.
Yes.
Education, employment, and also encouraging them in the small business they do. Do you think that the youth should give themselves a high hopes in the incoming government?
You see, the normal young person in this country will tell you this was not what he expected. So that is it. But let me just say it, let it be 50-50.
All right.
Because like I said, Ahmed Bola Tinubu was part of Buhari's government, whether directly or indirectly. What did he achieve? Yes, we know that, to be fair to him, he made Lagos, he contributed to Lagos becoming what it is today to an extent, and Lagos is one of the states that is working, is viable, it can be independent. Even if Lagos is a country of its own today, you are sure that it will survive, for sure. Yes, he contributed to that. But then the issue is, where are we today? Considering age and his health challenges. And that's why I say we have to keep praying. Because as we are here now, there are a lot of protests going on. There shouldn't be inauguration, it shouldn't be sworn in, so on and so forth. So there are these two challenges that we are still faced with. But for the Nigerian youth, let it be 50-50, and then let's leave everything in the hands of God. Notwithstanding, our laws must be stronger this time around. I think that is where we have to force him to see that he does the right thing. We must have our laws working. Yes, the institutions are there, but are they really independent? Who is watching over them? Yeah. So we must have things working so that the common youth can go to bed and be sure of what he's waking up to do. Yeah. While I was coming here, I saw young people within the age of 20-something to 30 playing ball on the street. Not because they want to be footballers, but because they don't have anything to do. And they don't have anywhere to go to. Now,
you made mention of giving the president-elect some accolades due to the things he did in Lagos State.
Yes.
So now, owing to that fact, are we not viewing or seeing what he will be capable of doing if he becomes the president of Nigeria?
Yes, it's one thing to be a state governor. It's a different thing entirely to be a president of Nigeria. Yes, you see, your interests, the control, the people are just within that geopolitical or that area, that state. But talking about Nigeria today, different zones come with their different interests. Some are selfish, some are for the interests of Nigeria. But then the issue that those people that really have this country at heart, did they have opportunity to talk to these people? Did they have that opportunity to approach him and talk to him? That is the issue. There are so many barricades to allowing people to really express themselves freely, to advise on how this country should really go.
All right. Okay, let's reflect on this the BBC report, which they say that the President Muhammad Buhari's administration has failed. Now, in the agricultural sector, we know that he has failed because farmers no longer go to farm because they don't feel safe. Because going back memory lane, history has it that Nigeria, one of the way of generating money was through agriculture before we discover crude oil.
Yes.
So is the president-elect willing or has that zeal to revamp the agricultural sector? One, he will start by curbing the insecurity whereby farmers can now go their way without fear of losing their lives and all that. Do you think that he has interest owing to the things he has done in Lagos State prior to this time?
You see, the first thing is, what are his plans for this country? I've tried to check, to search, to see where he made comments, PowerPoint comments. This is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to do in this area. This is what I'm going to do in this area, so that we can hold him to such promises.
But what if he had done that? Because so many administration has come and gone. I will do this. I will do that. At the end, it became always and false promises.
Yes, and that's why I'm telling you that our laws have to be enforced, have to change. You understand? Because where the law says these are social things you need to do for the people, the government holds the people, the right to provide security, and so on and so forth. And where they don't do it, you don't sue them, they are not suable.
Okay.
You understand? But if they are suable, you can sue a government for refusing to provide security for you. Don't you know that government will be on its toes to see that it do the right thing?
Yeah.
So these are the issues we are talking about. There are countries where we see people resign because they did not perform.
Okay.
Because people said, no, you have failed in this area. You see those individuals resigning. Say, look, I have failed my people and I cannot continue.
Because they have
and
that
step
human
aside.
consciousness.
They have that human consciousness.
Okay.
But the issue here is that even if you do, your brother from the village will call you, he say, if you try it, don't come back. Huh? You understand? They will tell you if you dare it. So we must see ourselves first as a nation
Okay.
with common interests and goals. Then we can progress.
All right.
So for the incoming government, first, they must gain the trust of Nigerians. They must restore that trust of Nigeria on its leadership. That is the first assignment they need to do. It's not doing this, doing that. No. The issue that nobody believes in anybody. Yeah. Now, for the very first time in the history of this country, that a presidential president-elect was declared winner, and nobody was celebrating.
Exactly.
It was like mourning. I don't know.
Yeah.
If I'm coming from the spiritual realm, I'll know what to say.
Okay.
If I'm coming from the academic field, I know what to say.
Okay.
But if I'm coming from the political angle, I will tell you that people are tired. People are just tired.
All right, we're just about to round up, but now in all these things, we're going to mark our report sheets or scorecard.
Yes.
So I'll mention the sectors,
Yes.
the few sectors.
Fine.
Then you put check or not check.
Okay.
Okay. Now, from the Buhari's administration, 8 years
Yes.
in government. So let's look at the area of education. Okay.
Not check.
Insecurity, we know,
Not
of
check.
course, not check.
Not
What
check.
about the medical sectors?
Fair. Let's be
Okay,
fair to
the health sector is fair.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. What about agriculture?
Fair.
He failed.
Yeah.
Okay. But I think during his tenure, there was need for we to embrace our homemade products instead of importing. There was a time in his administration they had to stop every importation, but the importation is now less.
No, that does not amount to doing well.
Okay.
Now, when you want to do that, you make sure that you create an enabling environment for the locals.
Okay.
So when you are importing, what we were importing was for the big man. My uncle in the village does not eat foreign rice before now. He takes from his farm.
Okay.
But now again, he can't go back to his farm.
Yeah.
So whether you are importing or not, it's the big man that benefits.
Okay. What about in the area of unity, uniting the country?
Not checked, in short. As a matter of fact, it's a minus.
Oh.
And that's why I said that's the first thing he needs to do. He needs to unite this country.
Okay.
He needs to unite it.
Okay.
Because when you are coming from Maiduguri, traveling to Lagos, you are not sure if you are going to reach. Because once they discover that you have a canuri, how will you be treated there? You are coming from the east, let's say from Anambra, for instance, and you are going to Sokoto. What is the guarantee that you arrive safely? You are coming from my own place, Igbagi man, and you are going to the south. What is the guarantee that you are not seen as one of the enemies?
Yes. All right. As the Igbagi man, and we know that you're one of the indigenes of this capital territory.
Yes.
Now, I want you to give your last word to the viewers out there, those watching you today, and what you're expecting from the youths. Although we know there will be a president, even as we are waiting for the election petition still going on. Yeah. So tell the youths and all the viewers out there what they should expect or what you want them to do.
All right, thank you. I think I will speak in two aspects. For the youth, let's keep our fingers crossed. Let's do what we are supposed to do. And let's expect that the government beat our imagination positively by doing the right. One of those things, as a Igbagi person, as a native of the FCT, my expectation and my plea to Ahmed Bola Tinubu, the president-elect, who is awaiting swearing in, that he should give the FCT its rightful position. We should have a native of the FCT as a cabinet member in his administration, in his government. There should be a ministerial appointment to the native of the FCT. You see, you cannot deal with the Igbagi people, you cannot deal with the native of the FCT to your convenience. One of those issues that is before consideration or before the court is the 25% in the elections. Now, whether or not. So when some Nigerians are saying it's not, FCT is like a state, it should be treated like a state. Okay. FCT, no, in this election it's not. The issue is you don't treat a people based on your convenience. Right. When it suits you, you treat them this way. Okay. When it does not suit you, because you see, let me tell you, all our farms have been taken away. And this is what our parents could do and send us to school. Yeah. But today, what do we have to do?
Okay.
Nothing.
Maybe we'll talk on that next time
No
when
problem.
we come. That's equity representation,
yes.
especially for the indigenes
Yes.
of the Federal Capital Territory.
That
This is the
is.
much we can take. Thank you for obliging our invitation. Thank you so much.
I appreciate so much.
Honorable.
Yes.
Thank you. We hope to have you next time.
No problem.
All right. All right, viewers, this is the much we can take on today's program, your Youth Arena program on Advent Cable Network Nigeria. Remember, we just did a scorecard on the 8 years administration of the President Muhammad Buhari. I'm sure wherever you are watching us, you can also do the same. Do have a lovely day. Bye.